Hi, this is Doug Wachesek, founder of SorryWorks. Welcome to another SorryWorks Minute. In today's SorryWorks Minute, we're going to be talking about a new campaign we're launching in January 8th, 2013 to be specific. This is the new SorryWorks campaign for patients and families. In this campaign, we're going to be teaching and educating patients and families all about the disclosure movement, what disclosure can mean for them after something goes wrong in a medical setting, and how they can maximize their chances or position themselves in a better way to receive the closure and healing they need after something goes wrong. You know, at SorryWorks, over the last 7+ years, we have literally trained thousands of doctors and nurses about disclosure. We've trained healthcare, insurance, and legal professionals about the importance of empathy and staying connected post-event without prematurely admitting fault. And we've trained those same healthcare and insurance and legal professionals how to admit fault, how to apologize when a mistake truly happened, and how to fairly compensate those they've harmed. But patients and families have been mostly left in the dark. It's my fault, and it may be the fault of some others, but patients and families just don't know very much about disclosure. And this was really brought home to me this past spring when I was doing spring 2012, when I was doing some work with some patient safety advocates, some very prominent patient safety advocates, some very well-educated, well-read people, well-spoken people who had no idea what disclosure was about, what it can mean for patients and families. They had no idea that you could get compensation without having to file a lawsuit. So it was a real eye-opener for me. And when you think about it, we have this tremendous patient safety movement here in the United States and around the world. It's doing a great job of making medicine safer. But the patient safety movement as we know it is almost exclusively focused on preventing errors, which is great. We want to prevent errors, but we also know that errors are still going to happen. Mistakes are still going to happen. And to my knowledge, there is no resource out there, no educational campaign to help patients and families deal with these potential mistakes, other than some flippant advice to call the number on the back of a phone book or call the number on a billboard. Surely we can do better, and that's what this campaign is going to be all about, doing better by patients and families. And when we do better by our patients and families, doctors and nurses are going to benefit too. Because if half the equation, patients and families are not educated and up to speed, it's sometimes hard to help everybody. And we've been educating doctors and nurses not to run away post-event. Well, sometimes doctors and nurses and risk managers can do everything right. They can be ready and willing to disclose and apologize, but sometimes patients and families run away. They don't answer the phone. They don't come back to the hospital. Or if they file a complaint, they don't know how to escalate the complaint. They don't know a lot of things. So we're going to try to educate patients and families how to do this. And in this campaign, we're going to have a very short, nice little booklet that's going to provide basically all the how-tos for patients and families and really get them educated. This is going to be an ebook or an e-booklet, so it'll be very cheap, very inexpensive for people to get a hold of. We'll also have a hard copy as well that people can purchase. Again, very cheap. And we'll also have a fact sheet on our website that will be free and download. And we'll do YouTube videos and a lot of other things as well. And some of the themes and topics we're going to cover in this campaign, in the booklet and other resources are stuff like teaching patients and families the fact that not every time something goes wrong in a medical setting is it malpractice, is it an error. Medicine has its limitations. We're going to talk about the importance of informed consent, which is really informed decision making, and telling patients and families they need to have those really robust discussions with their doctors and learn the risk, and can they live with those risks, because sometimes the best procedure is the one that doesn't happen. We're going to be talking to patients and families about how to live through the worst moments of their life. That initial aftermath of learning that something bad has happened, that an adverse event has happened. What can they do? What shouldn't they do? And what do they need to do going forward? And what should they expect from their doctors and nurses? We're going to talk about, do they need a lawyer? And what scenarios would they need a lawyer? And how does a relationship with a lawyer work? And how do you find a good lawyer to begin with? Go through all those thoughts. Then we're going to talk about resolution healing, how to resolve these cases, how apology coupled with fair and upfront compensation can lead to true resolution and healing without litigation, and stress the importance of patients and families not only need to think about their financial needs, but their emotional needs as well, and that sometimes emotional needs can be more important than financial needs. And then we're going to close with talking about patients and families who don't receive justice, because sometimes patients and families don't receive justice. justice. They don't receive answers, or maybe they get incomplete justice. And what do these people need to do with their lives going forward? How do they need to channel themselves in a positive fashion to make a difference? So that's what the campaign is all about. We're really excited about the campaign. We think it's going to make a tremendous impact and difference for the disclosure movement. We think it's going to speed the disclosure movement, because as more as more patients and families get educated about disclosure and start demanding disclosure post-event, that's going to push doctors and nurses in a positive way to speed up their implementation of disclosure. So my hope, my prayer is to push these two camps together more often after something goes wrong. Push patients and families and doctors and nurses back together more often when something goes wrong. Because when something goes wrong in a medical setting, the first place a patient should go back to, the first place they should go is back to their doctor, back to the hospital. That's where they should start the process, and that's what this is all going to be about. Now, we're going to really lean on or use social media in this campaign to get the word out, because that's where patients and families are. So, we're going to be on YouTube, we're going to be on Twitter, we're going to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, all that stuff, and so we need your help to build our social media list as much as possible prior to January 18th. Our social media platforms are on the SorryWorks website, sorryworks.net. So, send people our way, get patient advocates and patient safety advocates coming our way to get these lists built up as much as possible. So that's what's happening. We're looking forward to January 8th, 2013. We'll keep you posted as we continue to move along here, and we look forward to a great campaign that's going to help everybody. Thank you very much.